AB 617, it really kind of gives this opportunity for the community that I represent to actually see what's actually going on in their community and giving more light to the issues that they feel as if they don't have that capacity to engage in. And that really gives more opportunity with community members, and that we can see with many of the other communities that we represent here in the region, further in the future, to see that the exposure of these conversations of air quality and the conversations of land use can really kind of be finally that opportunity for the community members to say, oh, we can finally engage in this conversation. Like, we don't have to feel like we're not a part of the conversation, or like it doesn't really matter if we have to be part of the conversation. So I think with this impact of 617, it really gives that ability and that power for community to finally say that we can actually be a part of this conversation. I think the exciting part of 617 is really, seeing that this process would bring more light to the definition of change. And even with many communities who aren't represented, in this conversation of, policy regulation, I think that it is okay for community members to engage in change and be able to feel like, this isn't a time in our lives to feel like we need this to slow down. Like, this is what we expected for years and decades, and, for a long period of time, for those who are always impacted by emissions or those impacted by industry, that's what they want to see. And that's something that, to me, seeing a community feel like there is an opportunity and there is a chance for them to now, be able to breathe better, to be able to go outside and, play with their kids. I think that is one of the things that we need to be excited for with 617, is really that the definition of change is now going to be exposed and going to be accepted in a very positive way. I really hope that with 617, what can be accomplished through this program and through this process is that there is a development of collaboration between community, local, regional, and state agency collaboration. I think that, many community members feel as if they have to be the only entity to stay connected together and to be able to go more full force with showing that community power can actually push for more policy regulation, and it could push for more transitions into a more cleaner and safe environment, or even just to get parks. We've seen many communities and more powerful communities be able to achieve that on their own. And that's something to me that I value so much as, someone who's getting into this field, that it's a very large exposure that, I didn't get to experience as a kid. Even with my parents, I didn't get to experience that, but to just say that, there is collaboration finally with agencies, with local entities, and with community to now be able to offer all of the possibilities when it comes to having, green infrastructure, having green spaces, having parks for kids to finally be able to go outside and play and not have to play right next to an oil field or play next to just a deserted, land that, is being bought for industry. I think that is what I really, really hope to gain from this program and from this process, is that there is finally collaboration between community, local, state, and regional entities to now finally not have to always feel like it's just a bureaucratic game for power. I think power should be collaboration.